Well, I've just been sitting in my office and I looked out the window and I thought if there was ever a day that shouted spring, I think this has to be it so far this year. I think we're going to quickly go out there because I can see something in the distance I want to take a closer look at. Well, the boys are out enjoying the good weather. Also being the security guards that they are, the farmer's just sorting out his fencing, which will mean that there'll be some sheep in there soon, I'm very sure. But if we take a little wander through, this is what I wanted to quickly show you, because in the distance you'll see a blanket of white, and that is because the snowdrops have well and truly come through, and it looks absolutely amazing. It would sound very nice out here as well if it wasn't for an old squeaky tractor in the background. Wow, look at this. How nice does that look? Wow. Whilst we're up here, we should probably go and have a little look at the beehive as well. You can carefully tread around. Wow, they're out. They look so small. They're collecting pollen. I can just see one of them going in with pollen on the back legs. Oh, there's quite a lot around here actually. Let's stand back. Yeah, it looks like there's lots of pollen coming in. Something really orange is being brought in at the moment. Good to see. First look at the bees, 2023. I'm gonna have a second hive this year, I think. Also, you'll see we've had another drop off of the reclaimed wood, which means that I can get cracking on with this. Not sure if I'm going to get around to that very soon, but at some stage we'll be able to get this going. We'll have a little chat about this anyway, because there might be a little bit of change to the plan for the inside. Well, this morning I am taking a moment to do a little bit of shopping online to find some new trousers. It's always an item in my wardrobe that I have to fight to find trousers that fit me. And I think actually from recent visits to the tailors and going in store and trying stuff on, that I have actually established that for my height, I have quite a large seat and quad area. And so the issue isn't anything other than my own. And it just means that to find the fit and the silhouette of the trouser that I'm looking for is not as it's not as common to find that kind of style and fit. And so I'm just doing a little bit of browsing on Farfetch, which as a website I find fantastic for brand discovery. I've found lots of incredible brands over the years using Farfetch, and My Teresa of course as well. They're the two websites that I tend to navigate towards. But Farfetch of late has been absolutely fantastic, and they seem to have a great selection of trousers that kind of cross the board really, depending on if you have urban or sartorial style. They tick all of the boxes. And so something that I'm being very considerate of is that when I'm looking at the models on the websites and I'm looking at how the trousers fit them, I have to remember that the size of their legs are going to be very different to mine. Now, not always, but I'd say that predominantly they're going to have skinnier legs than I do. Previously, I've always looked and thought, oh, they look quite loose around the quad, perfect, and then they turn up and they're super tight. So I'm kind of factoring that in now, and the way in which trousers look on the models versus how they look on me, I'm kind of looking for slightly wider leg trousers, and then when I put them on, they end up looking a bit more like straight leg. So I've managed to, I think, suss out a way of doing online shopping that means that I'm not returning as many pairs of trousers, and also not ordering loads of trousers that aren't going to fit. I do know that the Loro Piana City trousers fit me really nicely. So when you discover kind of like staple pieces from brands that they release every year, it fills you with a bit of confidence that if you were to then go and order different styles and fabrics in that same model, which not all brands do, I understand, but Loro Piana as a brand definitely do this, I can shop more of their trousers. The only difficulty, of course, with them is they're always out of stock. So yeah, I'm just browsing online, just seeing what I can find and what I can see, and seeing if there's any new brands on there that have been listed that I've not discovered yet. I think the last brand that I discovered on Farfetch was PT Torino. I've got some really beautiful green trousers from them, and yeah, they just sort of sit and fall really nicely, and they're so comfortable, especially when I sit down. They don't compromise at all, which is really nice. I'm going to continue browsing, and in a second I'll share with you what I've favorited and saved off into my folder. Okay, so I thought I would quickly run through with you what's going on in the wish list. So it says I've got 40 pieces up there. That's actually a combination of both trousers and previous jackets and ties and stuff that I've looked at before. So you'll see a lot of the stuff at the bottom is actually already sold out. These are a pair of trousers that I actually picked up from PT Torino, and they fit absolutely beautifully. I've been trying to add a little bit more colour, and I'm not talking about bright colour, I just mean like subtle colour like the greens and the reds. And so if we go to the top, these are some of the ties I was looking at. You'll see that I've got some kind of light coloured trousers, a bit more suited to summer as we're coming into spring. These would be for like relaxed summer, so these would be more spring summer, I'd say. There's one left from Lardini in a size 46, which is my size, which relates to around about 30-inch width, okay? My concern is, if you look at the quad area of these, you'll see that they look quite narrow, and it's that narrow section just above the knee that I have particular issues with. The length looks really good, and I think that they're a nice relaxed kind of chino style trouser. And then flick to the right, really love the way in which these fit. However, the crotch just looks a bit too low. These are from Amy Paris, or as I call them, AMI Paris. There wasn't actually much on there. I think it's kind of like transitioning seasons at the moment. It's possibly not the best time to be looking for clothes. And then if we go down to see what I've looked at previously, these have got that kind of tapered look. You'll notice a lot of the trousers I'm sort of selecting have got pleats on them. That's just to help with my quads. I actually ordered this pair here, and they were too tight around the quad, which is really interesting because they're also from PT Torino, and they've got a pleat down the front, and they were actually too tight. Really stunning jacket, actually. I really wish I picked this up. This is a double-breasted herringbone jacket. It's not going to show us, is it? There it is. Oh, see, this is what I love about Farfetch. You think, oh, I really like that jacket. And it just goes and throws at a load of other options from other brands in a very similar styles. This is a really beautiful colour. Not the most successful of shopping trips today. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. I've actually just had a pair of trousers arrive from Levi's, and I'll quickly open those and show those to you. So, these right here are the 568 loose fit, and they're very wide. However, I'm going to have these tapered and tailored, just so they fit a little bit more in my style. However, these particular trousers gave me the room that I needed around my seat. So I decided to go with these. I actually went in store, tried these on in a grey, felt happy enough with the fit, so I ordered them in their light blue wash. I think for the summer, I wanted to have a pair of blue jeans that I could just wear relaxed with a plain t-shirt, just sort of simple, minimal, casual outfit. And I haven't got any jeans in my wardrobe at the moment that are blue. I've got one pair of black jeans and that's it. So this is kind of just to give me something to wear other than trousers and linen trousers. And I'll get these tailored up at my local alterations place. And then fingers crossed, these will be back to me before we get the good weather. And I'll probably end up wearing these with like sandals and stuff like that. We'll see. We're currently sitting in the lounge, and that's because it's well and truly been a feet up Friday kind of day today. Later on this afternoon, I'm actually off to meet some friends to go to the golf simulator, which I'm really looking forward to. But I've just finished watching this month's Sky original, The Interdependent, and I couldn't wait any longer. I had to sit down and talk to you about this one. It's coming to Sky on the 24th of February. The film is a political thriller with investigative journalist Ellie. That is one word I struggle with, investigative. I don't know if it's just me, I find that such a tongue twister. And played by Jodie Turner-Smith, she follows the money and uncovers a conspiracy theory that hits closer to home. As a less experienced journalist, she calls for the help of senior journalist Nick Booker, and together they work on the overarching agenda of trying to report the truth wherever that may lie. With the information that they acquire, America's fate balances in their hands as the chase to presidency closes in. Now, whilst the film does focus on that political rally, there are moments of personal life that are intertwined and also kind of involved in that work sort of placement. So a really interesting film. I think it's a great one to get stuck into, and I also would say that it provoked some emotion, and it also has a great way of highlighting the importance of a good, honest moral compass, which is something that I really enjoyed taking from watching that movie. Now, the second film that features on Sky Cinema this month is Rock Dog 3. As always, I'll leave the relevant links to the trailers for both of those movies in the description box down below. Now, if you're not familiar, Sky hosts pop-ups which feature film collections such as Valentine's or Oscar-related film. And right now you can indulge in the Tom Cruise collection to celebrate Top Gun Maverick coming to Sky Cinema. You can enjoy lots of his iconic movies, all in that really easy to navigate destination. I do look forward to hearing what your thoughts are on The Interdependent, and I will be bringing you more Sky films next month. Now, you may notice there's some new art in the living room. We put that up yesterday, and we also have a new piece that's possibly going to be going in my office. And I also have a couple of pieces that are still at the framing centre to go into my wardrobe upstairs. And so before anybody asks, yes, we do have the horse in the living room now. We actually used to have some boats on the wall, which was a lovely gift from Lydia's dad. They're going to be relocated, and I think that that piece is now here to stay. Really happy with it. If you want to see those being unpackaged, hung, get all up close and details to the frames and stuff, and how we spec'd it, because of course you select your border and stuff, then head over to Lydia's channel because we open those on hers, and you'll also be able to see the other art pieces that we've had framed. They're spectacular, if I do say so myself, and we're actually keeping our eyes out as well for some more pieces. There's a bit of space in my office, and previously I had mentioned putting in some like photos or paintings of some Aston Martin DB4s or DB5s. And so that's something that's still possibly something that I would look to do. But I also really love the idea of including nature and animals. I've always been quite obsessed with animals. I've always really enjoyed watching nature documentaries. I've always enjoyed being out in nature, photographing nature. And so to have that in my office as well, I think would be incredible. And also another reason why I really want to go on safari. If any of you have ever been to some incredible reserves, I would love to know also. And I feel like I'm asking for a lot of communication here. I'm asking for you guys to let me know what you think about film, you know, where you think I should be going on safari, but I feel like there's such a large pool of places that you can go and visit. Of course, I do speak to people that have been, and everybody's always like super happy with the destinations that they travel and visit. I really enjoy hospitality. Like, I love going to places that are really great on and hot on hospitality, and so to be able to enjoy the hospitality element as well as incredible safaris, that would be my ideal. I speak to lots of people that are purely just going for the safari and they're not so fussed about the sort of like hospitality and where they're staying. I want the full package. I want to find somewhere that kind of like supports both sides and make it like a truly enjoyable experience for me. I'm not saying you can't enjoy it if you're not staying in a nice place. Lots of people are more than happy to just put up a tent in the middle of nowhere. Personally, that's not my vibe. I'd be very nervous. I'd love to stay in somewhere that was a little bit more fixed, a little bit safer, and also had just like a nice environment. So if you do know of anywhere, then do let me know.
Train manager speaking, service now and approaching to London Euston. Our final station stop. Before you leave the train, make sure you have all of your luggage and all of your personal belongings with you. And please take care stepping from the train onto the platform. Thank you very much for travelling Avanti West Coast. Once again, this is London Euston, our final station stop.
Well, we're currently walking down Old Bond Street, which connects onto New Bond Street, where our first meeting this morning is going to take place at Panerai. It's their store. It's number 30 New Bond Street. So we're going to go take a look inside, meet the team, and hopefully grab a coffee. Well, a little bit later than scheduled, but nevertheless, we have arrived to the Panerai store here on New Bond Street. So let's go and take a look inside.
You can see the dial is slightly different, a bit more like this one, with the circle here, the I can't pronounce it.
Giorni or something like that, yes. I'm not Italian, we should ask Francesco to say that.
I think you've got
yes.
the French house.
What's this to keep in? Seconds?
Yes, correct, small seconds. Some direction.
I mean, if you can't get your hands on a classic boat, don't worry.
Yeah.
You know, just to manage expectations. I think your creativity and your style.
Yeah, cool. I'll think about.
I can send you this.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, it's really
we've got an Italian on the team. Oh, you said?
Nice. Made in Australia, the strap.
Was he familiar with Panerai beforehand?
Was I?
Yeah.
Yes.
Big watch fan.
Yeah, I like watches.
Well, we're just taking a quick look at the Radiomir, and we also have the submersible here as well. And then these are female watches. As you can see, they have the moon face on, so these are the lunar watches. I think they're a 38mm. So these are inspired by their heritage watches. These were actually the first watches that were used for the Italian Marines, and they've kept the similar kind of style and aesthetic with the same crown and the same dial, and they've stuck to that minimalistic classic style that the Radiomir is known for. I'll have to talk to you a little bit more about how Radiomir actually came about and why it's called that. It's quite an interesting story, which we'll go into a little bit more detail at another time. The submersible that you can see here is actually a collaboration with Prada. You'll be able to see that there's a similar kind of design element to this watch, the Luna Rossa, so very cool. But I am going to have a little look around the store and see what watches they've got on show. Just come upstairs and I've spotted the Luminaire Duet, and they've got one in the side kind of like patinaed face, and then they've got this lovely brown leather strap. I think they look absolutely stunning. So what I like about these particular watches is they've got a slightly thinner profile on them, and so they sit a little bit more elegantly for that slightly more sartorial style. Very beautiful watches. Might have to add these to the shopping list. And they also keep that crown protect as well, which is a very iconic and classic Panerai design. Very nice. Finished up in Panerai, absolutely fantastic, spending some time and meeting the team. Got to sort of go through the collections. They've got 4 main collections at Panerai, and it was really interesting to learn a little bit more about the brand, and also to take a look at the watch that I'm going to be working on this year. It's currently embargoed, so unfortunately I'm not able to share it with you, but it's a very special watch. It sort of focuses on the heritage and one of the original timepieces from Panerai. And I'm not sure if I've discussed much about Panerai with you, but obviously Panerai famously supplied the Italian Marines with watches, so that's something that they really sort of pride and they really keep as a centerpiece to the designs and also the brand itself. So I'll sit down at some point and actually talk to you a little bit more about the things that I've learned about Panerai as I'm discovering more about the brand, and I am really interested in that Luminaire. It's definitely going to be a consideration for a dress watch for me. But moving on, we'll touch base again on Panerai soon, but for now we've arrived to Rod and Gunn, which is a New Zealand based brand. It's been in the UK now for about 5 years, and today we are in store to do a little bit of gifting. I'm going to select some pieces. I would describe Rod and Gunn for me as like a smart casual option. They've got some really nice sort of tailored pieces for the summer, slightly more relaxed fabrics and fits and materials, and then they've also got that kind of rugby inspired collection as well. So it's a great place to come and get some nice casual wear, so you're keeping that smart look but it's casual, it's comfortable to wear around the house if you're going down to the pub or to events and stuff like that. So some really nice pieces. So I'm going to show you some of the things that I'm talking about, and then I'm going to get busy trying stuff on in the change room. So the store is actually located just off of Regent Street, and as you can see opposite we have Churches for reference, and then Coach on the corner over there. And if I spin around, you'll see that as you walk in, you've got some nice knitwear. I believe that this will be a cashmere. Some really nice loafers. They've got variation there of colours. And then if we walk through, we've got a nice shirling jacket. Some really nice knitwear as well. I'm a big fan of these quarter zip collars. Got a nice chunky neckline on them as well. The leather tag on the zip. nice little detail. And then here we have some of their slightly more smarter stuff, which is a unconstructed jacket, I believe. Oh no, it is lined. And then here you can see we have some of the smarter pieces from their collection. Really like the corduroys that are just underneath here. And again, we've got some more really nice knitwear. So you can get a general feel for the brand itself. And then over here to the left, this is the more casual stuff, which has got that more like what I call rugby inspired sort of look to them. This taps much more into the more athleisure, sporty element of the brand. We've made our way into the changing room, and as you can see, we've got a couple of items over here on the hanger, as well as a stack of trousers and knits that I'm going to be trying on. No surprises with the colour palette. I've gone for very neutral, earthy tones. Really liked this knit in this green. Very nice quarter zip with a big collar. And then this is really nice. This is actually made out of plastic bottles. So this is part of their recycled reprieve. But as you can see, this jacket has got a nice raised collar on it, zip. It runs all the way through with a windbreaker on it as well. Then it's got these elasticated cuffs and hems for pure comfort, and then a couple of pockets on the side as well. So we'll give that a try on, and then we'll see how we get on with this stuff as well. Okay, so we've got our first couple of items on. This quarter zip is a win. I really like it. Fits really nice, very comfortable. It's got a little bit of space in there as well for me to chuck on a vest or to layer up, which is obviously really important during these colder days. And then the trousers, these are actually a moleskin. They're tailored fit. They're a little bit too long, but of course you can have these tailored. It's something that they actually offer here in store. So if you come in and your trousers aren't fitting exactly how you like, they're willing to take those away and make sure that they tailor them to your preference, which I think is a lovely touch. Really nice and soft, which I haven't got anything like these in my wardrobe. I would have liked them to have been a little bit wider around the leg, so I'm not sure if I will take these, just because I'm trying to get a little bit more room around my quads, just purely for comfort. It's something that I always find with trousers, is that they're always a little bit too tight around the quad area. But in general, beautiful colour, really nice fabric, and the feel of these is spot on. So it's just a personal preference on the actual fit around the quad, but this knitwear is definitely going to be coming home with me. Okay, so we're now trying on the olive Cambrian jacket. It's got great structure to it. As you can see, it's in an olive green. I feel like this would be a lovely piece to transition into the spring with. So again, I think that this one is going to be coming home with me. I like the detailing on the collar as well. Just adds a little bit of flair to the look. And again, you could layer this up with a nice roll neck, or as I've done here, with a crew neck. This actually is also a crew neck from Rod and Gun that I'm wearing underneath in a cashmere. Very, very soft, very comfortable. Yeah, I like this look. This jacket actually works quite nicely with these trousers as well. Going for the all green look. Right, so we finished up at Tom Sweeney. It was really tricky to decide on what fabric to go for. The guys in store were really helpful, giving me advice on weights and whether I wanted seasonal suits or whether I wanted 4-season suits or all-season suits. Just trying to understand really what it was that I wanted to do and how I wanted to use the suit. which I think I wanted all seasons, but then on reflection, a charcoal grey suit is a suit that you predominantly wear in the winter, and so that kind of changed, I guess, the whole approach to this suit. I then referenced that I wanted to wear it in both casual and slightly more formal settings. Again, kind of conflicting ideas, and so they were just working with me to try to establish what it was that I really wanted, because obviously what I was describing was everything. I wanted the casual suit, the smart suit, the summer suit, the winter suit, and actually you can't have all of those things. You need to sort of like set your direction and plan what it is you want, and then once you've achieved that, then of course you can build the blocks off of that and fine-tune the suit that it is that you actually really want. And so we decided to go for quite a light suit. Went for a 10-ounce suit, but with the idea that I'm going to be wearing it in more casual settings, and I wanted to be able to wear the two-piece separately, so the jacket and the trousers separately. But we didn't actually discuss a few details that on reflection I felt like we should have done, like the buttons, like what colour they're going to be. So it'd be interesting to see if on my second fitting we cover those aspects and elements. I also am trying to establish the exact style of fit that I really like in a suit. Something that I've learned through dealing with people in the bespoke and tailoring world is that there is a style, and each tailor has their own style, and I feel like you need to be respectful of that. And so if the style of suit that you're looking for isn't aligned with the tailor's style or the cutter's style, then you need to be looking for a different tailor. And so I've got a lot of work to do, I think, in the tailoring space to truly understand what it is that I love about tailoring, and then to try to make sure that I'm finding the brands that really support and can supply me with those garments. So it's going to be, I think, an expensive learning curve for me, because it's a G-Wagon. I'm going to be going, of course, through the process of buying and investing in these suits, and some of them might not be exactly what I hope them to be, but I think the idea is that these suits are going to last for a very long time, and so I want to make sure that I'm getting exactly what it is that I want. And the only way that really I'm going to find out the exact style of suit that I want is kind of by trial and error. So as I develop more knowledge in this sector, and as I experiment and invest in different tailors, I'm sure that I will be able to fine-tune the style that I really like and the tailors that I really warm to. And don't get me wrong, there will be suits that I will want that are more modern, some that are more classic. Different styles lend themselves to different environments and scenarios, and I'm not anti any particular tailoring style. I just need to make sure that I'm sort of homing in on the exact styles for the exact occasions. But anyway, we are on our last meeting of the day. I have a fragrance consultation here at Creed. We're in a beautiful location. You see behind me, we've got some lovely restaurants, lots of beautiful cars. So we're going to walk in now and go for our consultation. So this is the Creed store, and it smells incredible around here. So let's go inside and get busy.